All right, welcome to the MMA Fight Game podcast. I'm super excited to talk to this athlete, this martial arts practitioner. Michael Stevens had a massive win over the weekend at the Attica Take Down, improving his overall record to 6-0. He trains out of Sudara Muay Lao in Buffalo, New York. He is a welterweight fighter. The big news coming out of the fight over the weekend at the Attica Takedown, he's been selected to represent Team USA at the ISKA World Amateur Championships for K1, which is kickboxing. That event is going on in Munich, Germany, October 18th through October 22nd, 2023. This dude is a savage. He's cerebral. He's nasty. Mike, thanks for joining us. How are you?
Hey, I appreciate you having me. I'm doing well today, and I appreciate all the compliments too, man. Thanks to FCP for letting me showcase my talents. Obviously, it's a great event, man. Outside, and I never got to fight outside. And next is Munich, and we're right back to training. We're ready to, go out there and bring back a medal.
Yeah, I'm excited because I know a couple of your guys. I'm actually going to be talking to all the guys that have some local ties. Obviously, you, the Schaefer boys, who are just as badass as you are. Nate Smith. I don't know if you've had a chance to watch Nate's fight from back in May at the Bill Gray's Iceplex that we did. But wow, what a high level bout that was, and for teenagers too, which is unbelievable.
Yeah, I saw him fight in Gladius, I believe, a year ago. He's a young kid, right? He's like 17, probably tall.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, he's good. I heard the Schaefers are real nasty. One of my teammates, Sean Doyle, who won it last year when the World's in Turkey's coming with us. Team stacked, man. I would love for everyone to get together, get some sparring, get some chemistry going, man. Seriously, and meet some of the coaches, get some chemistry going there. So that's what I'm really looking forward to. I already met Mike Walters, who was a great guy. John Wall, obviously. So yeah, I definitely want to reach out soon, see who the kickboxing coach is, and go out to his gym and see what we can work.
Yeah, for sure. And being around ISKA, Joe Wall, and all those guys for the last three full contact promotion fight cards. I can't say enough about what Joe and his crew do. Top notch, first class. I've seen a ton of UFC. I've been to some regional shows. What Joe does, what the ISKA does. It's really impressive. Definitely first rate, first class. So talking offline, according to Tapology, they just show your martial arts. You're currently 2-0, 6-1. You're 4-0 as in Muay Thai. You're 4-0 as a kickboxer. And then do you have, after this, and you're a boxer, right? What's your boxing record?
My boxing record would be 12-3. I won Golden Gloves at 52. I won 2 nationals, and then I came second in nationals at the ringside back in 2014, 2015. That was the first time I fought someone international. I fought someone from Ireland, which about the best experience I ever had. I think, you can fight guys from around here. Best advice I could give the young fighters. As of right now, I've been fighting in Buffalo, but when I boxed, we fought everywhere. I mean, one weekend could be in Atlanta, next could be in Kansas City, and we're fighting guys all over the country. That's where you see styles. Not every a kid from Ireland, the style was so different. It's more of European, more, they move different. It was great to see. So boxing, I did that for years. I took a break, moved out of state for a while. I came back and
Mm-hmm.
I got back into it by mistake. I mean, I'm happy I did. But yeah, I started with the boxing. I had no idea I'd get into kickboxing or Muay Thai. I never even threw a kick in my life till I got back in the gym.
Yeah, your kicks are nasty. Your strikes. Now that you're Golden Gloves, now I see what I was seeing cage side. At the Attica Takedown. Now that's all starting to make sense to me. Who you are. I'm like, who's this kid? Like, last fight card was Mason Lewis. Like, where are these guys coming from? So are you going to go back to after the ISKA World Championships in Munich? Are you going to go back to boxing, or are you potentially looking to take a fight and then go pro kickboxing, Muay Thai? And have you dabbled in MMA at all?
Well, the plan is when I get back from Munich, more than likely take one more fight, probably in kickboxing or Muay Thai, then go professional. I mean, we train out of a boxing gym. I still spar with all the top guys out in Buffalo, and
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't see myself getting back into boxing. It could always happen, without a doubt could happen. But yeah, right now I dig the kickboxing. I really like Muay Thai, and that's what we've been doing. And MMA is probably out of the picture, man. I got the ground game of a toddler. So unless I go to a BJJ gym, sharpen my skills. I don't know. I see those guys that you said, Mason Lewis. I don't want one of those guys slam me on my head, man. That's a whole different art. And when I saw him, I actually just met him about 2 months ago at a fight. Not even 2 months ago. He fought 2 weeks before that, or
Yeah,
3 weeks
K4.
before in Buffalo. Yeah. And I ran into him because I saw him fight before. I want to talk to the kid. And like, yeah, the takedowns are insane, man. So I think that's something you got to learn, the minute you start walking, it's a whole different game.
So he's been wrestling a very, very long time, and it's actually a compliment where you guys could, paint some knowledge, give him some knowledge bombs in your crafts. He could also give you, because he's trained at elite camps, Cornell. I made a bold statement that he's probably got some of the best amateur wrestling in the country for MMA. I think he's that good, just like you are with your striking. You know what I mean? So would you go pro kickboxing or pro Muay Thai? What do you like better, kickboxing or Muay Thai?
I mean, pro kickboxing is more down my realm, But I obviously I love the Muay Thai, man. The problem with that fight, I don't want to let go of the clinch. Once I get that clinch held, I don't like to let go of it now. I train with all Muay Thai guys for the most part, other than the boxers. I would do both, but I would love to pursue kickboxing. That's
Yeah.
the plan right now.
Would you have to go overseas to fight, or is there pro kickboxing? Isn't there like combat karate or karate combat? I think that's one of the organizations. Like Ian Gary's wife is involved. Layla is
Oh,
involved.
really? I
Yeah,
didn't even know that.
karate. Yeah, something like that. Would you have to fight overseas a lot? Because isn't it bigger overseas?
It's a lot bigger in Europe. You get a lot of guys from Netherlands, from Britain, a bunch of, Eastern European countries, but they have promotions around here in 5 hour range
Okay.
that do all that. And, full contact. I'm pretty sure they've had a pro card before. I've had pros on their thing. I'm not 100% sure. And there's a lot of promotions I'm sure would be willing to dabble into it. Right now they have a lot of promotions coming from this area who are just skyrocketing. They're doing great.
Yeah, well, it's a testament to you guys, you the athletes who put your blood, sweat, and tears online. I was so excited for the Saturday card, watching you and then everybody else competing. It was amazing. Is this your first international competition that you're going to in October?
Yeah, it'll be my first international. Like I said earlier, it won't be my first fight against someone from overseas,
Yeah.
but yeah, it'll be my first one, which I can't wait, man. When Sean Doyle, who I said earlier, my teammate went to Turkey, I told myself, I said in a year I'm going to be on that team. I know I'll be on that team, and that's been the goal the whole time. And just bothering ISKA, hey, give me a chance. Look at the record. Every time I won, I would send it to them. Hey, I'm building up a little resume here, and they did, and I'm honored to take it. So I'm ready to go there.
Yeah. And what do you know? What do you know about this? What do you know about this tournament?
I know it's in Munich. It's a week tournament. I fought in tournaments, obviously, before, a lot of tournament format with boxing. I know it's about a 3 day event, so I assume I'd make weight and fight probably 2, 3 days in a row. I think it's a 4-man bracket. I would have to double check. If that's the case, then that's 2 fights in a row. And I looked up the weights and all that. It's in kilograms. I can either fight at 55 or 65, and we're gonna choose 55.
Yeah, and talking with Bubba, the head of and the owner of Full Contact Approaches, he says you guys are going to get matched up randomly. Does that Does that pose any kind of mental thing for you, or does it affect you, or anything like that?
I feel comfortable in tournament settings. It would be the same when I went to those other tournaments. I wouldn't know who I was fighting, and they'd put, who was fighting who on the wall. Everyone would run to it like, kids at a little wrestling tournament, and then you'd
Yeah.
have probably 2 hours to prepare to who you're fighting. So, and a lot of time you couldn't find film on them. So, it was right there, whoever you had in front of you. And that was 8 men tournament. So we'd be fighting 3 days in a row. So that doesn't bother me. I think, skills pay the bills, and the hard work we're going to put in is going to do what we're going to do. So I'm excited. I'm looking to put a stamp on it, respectfully.
Yeah, and you had mentioned your friend there, your teammate, was a medalist as well. Looking at past champions, I see it's a lot of French champions, a lot of champions from France. Is that the national sport over in France, or is that just something they do over there? Because obviously, I mean, you have some French fighters in the UFC like Cyril Gane and things like that who are notable kickboxers. Is that big over there, or is it just kind of lucky draw and go from there?
From what I know, they have a bunch of champions out of France.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a national sport per se, but I know it's huge over there. I mean, you got Czech Congo, Cyril Gane, I think Cedric Dubé. I probably butchered his name there, but you
Yeah.
see a lot of kickboxers come out of France. So, I would expect to get someone from France, Russia, Sweden, somewhere around there. Sean, when he went out there, he fought Germany and Sweden. So he said there's a lot of Germans, a lot of Swedes. So, whoever's number we draw from Europe will be more than ready.
Awesome. And like you said, you could fight multiple times. What's the recovery process like?
Oh, when I fought at ringside, I fought 3 days in a row. That third day, you're hurting, man. I mean, once you get in there, it's caution to the wind. But yeah, you're definitely hurting. These guys complain about one day and then they take a week off from the gym. You got to rehydrate. And in boxing, you had to make that weight every day. I don't know how it's going to be internationally, but
Mhm.
I fought at 52, and obviously you always blow up. You'd have to get back on the treadmill, lose the weight, get right back into it. So
So you had to make every day, like if you had 3 bouts, like in Golden Gloves or whatever that you had mentioned, you have to make weight each day. So you can't rehydrate, blow up because you have to kind of stay on weight.
you would see
Holy shit.
athletes outside the hotel running in trash bags right after their fight. I mean, I comfortably could get down. I had a good team around me who wasn't going to let me gain 15 pounds in between, because there's guys like that. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, people would struggle. That was probably the main struggle for a lot of those guys, is they would get to such a low weight class that they couldn't keep the weight down. So you're losing all that weight and then you're fighting a few hours later. I mean,
Holy
it's
shit.
a crazy situation to behold, for sure.
Wow, that is crazy. So after you get back from Germany in October, I know Full Contact is looking. Would you want to take one more bout with them and then make the pro jump from there?
When is their do you know when their card is? Like an
It's
estimate? It's in
tentatively going to
November.
be probably the second or third week in November, right before Thanksgiving.
I don't want to throw something out there, but if it looks good when we come back and everything's, moving and we feel good, I'd love to. They treated me well, obviously, they always do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I'd be happy to fight for them and then move on forward.
Yeah, not to put you on a spot. Obviously, I know there's other promotions that you fought on and things like that,
Mhm.
but obviously, there's only so much you can know. But certain guys, you can tell the fans, and like I didn't know your background until you told me, "Hey, I'm a Golden Gloves," which is legit, like
Yeah,
really
it's good,
legit.
man. It's a good accomplishment, man. It
Uh,
was a lot of hard work, but it's good to show.
yeah, and you mentioned offline you have a child. Do you have a significant other?
Yes, I do. I thank you for actually saying that. See, you saved me there, man. If I didn't mention her, I might have been in some trouble. But yes, thank you to Kayla Montleone, who, man, people don't see all the people behind you. It takes a village to help a fighter get there. That girl's such a backbone to my training camps, to me cutting weight, and she doesn't know anything about it. When she first met me, she had no idea what fighting was. She's a chemist, she's real book person, so she had no idea what to expect, but she really fight weak. She really keeps everything off me. Just focus on the fight. I got everything else. And I got a rowdy 3-year-old named Roman. He's sleeping right now, or you'd see him jump across, the screen like Spider-Man, but I mean, he's a good boy. He comes to the gym with me, and I think that's how you should be raised. My father raised me that way. Anywhere my father went, I went. Mechanic shops, gym, card games. My dad brought me everywhere. But my son, I like bringing them there because too often you see these kids that got an iPad in their hands and they're stuck in the house all day. So he goes to the gym. We give him his little gloves. He hits the bag, and it's good for him. It's good for him to get out and experience something.
Yeah, I love it. So, behind every strong man, there's an equally stronger, tougher woman. So it sounds like you got one in your girl there. What does she think? Like when you guys first started dating, I'm always interested in knowing the backstory of significant others and parents. Like, when she found out you were a fighter, what was her reaction to what it is now?
She didn't really know what it was. Like, she obviously, if you hear MMA, like you have an understanding to a certain, but she's never been around anything like that. So when she first went to the fight, she went with my mother. I got a bunch of people come out in the Buffalo area, went out there, and jaw dropping. She had no idea what to think. Now she's totally in it. I mean, the house is stocked with pictures of fights. She put them up. She's very into it now. But at the time, she was, she had no idea. She's wondering, why are you running 5 miles at 1 a.m. when you get out of work? Why? I go, you have no idea. Everyone likes to show the pictures. They have no idea what gets put into it. The weight cut, I talked to a lot of young fighters. I went out to Vermont and fought a few months ago. And I was talking to this young kid. I think it was his first fight. He lost. And we are talking. He goes, well, I put work. And I go, how many miles you run a day? He goes, 2. I go, bump it up to 5. I go, where's your hill sprints? Where's this? He's smoking, he's drinking. If you're going to fight, you got to either fully commit. I always say you can drink and you can fight. You can't do both. You can drink when you're 40, man. You can do all that forever, for the rest of your life. You want to do all the degenerate stuff, do it after, but you can't fight forever. I'm not going to be John Wayne Parr fighting until I'm 50, you have to put everything into it. And she's fully supportive. My mom's fully supportive, which is weird because my mom's just like her, real, book smart lady, very quiet, but she loves it. And I got a whole family that supports in a whole town. I mean, Niagara Falls, you go in the pizzerias, they all got my posters up. Everyone's fully supportive, which is good. I got a good backing right now, and I really appreciate it.
Yeah, that's huge. Like they say, it takes a village, and I'm definitely excited to watch you compete. I think the championships will be actually on a pay-per-view based thing. It's like Fight TV. Don't quote me on that. Something like that. Your fight will be released from the Attica Takedown shortly, and they can find it. Is your boxing fights online or no?
I would have to check. I don't believe so. There might be some national tapes out there.
Yeah.
I would have to search, but last I checked, like a year or two ago, they were on. They could still. I would have to do a deep dig.
Yeah, that's cool. So cool. I really appreciate your time today. Again, like I mentioned at the beginning of the call, Michael Stevens, he's a big time combat sports athlete. He is going to be representing Team USA at the ISKA World Amateur Championships in kickboxing, October 18th through October 22nd in Munich, Germany. If you also get a chance when he gets back, if he's fighting in Buffalo, or hopefully he's fighting with us in Rochester, this may be potentially the last time that you see him fight locally. If not, you may have to travel somewhere where there's a kickboxing. Mike, I really appreciate the time tonight. Thanks a lot, and just sit tight, okay?
Absolutely. I appreciate it too.
All right, buddy.